Merry Christmas from everybody here at InfoWars. And a great new year coming up. By the way, I want to give you some of the history of torture here before our guest comes up. Just kind of a gestalt of it. If in a tribe, a little troop, a little village of, say, 120 individuals, whether it was in ancient Africa or ancient Europe, what's Asia today, China, Central Asia, Pakistan, wherever. If the people in the tribe caught somebody, say, strangling a 5 or 10-year-old child for no reason, and there were 2 or 3 witnesses that saw it, and those witnesses weren't related, because you wouldn't trust that they would call in the town elders, maybe 5, 6 people, and then they would ask everybody what they thought. And they'd say, yeah, it's clear you did it. Grab him. And then they'd tie you down and beat your brains out or throw you off a cliff or throw you in a fire or whatever the case may be. That is a natural response. And I'm for the death penalty when you catch somebody red-handed. The problem is you can't trust a big, corrupt, evil government when it turns out in many cases up to a third of people on death row are totally innocent. Now, the argument is, well, they got caught 7 times robbing banks, or, they got caught kidnapping 2 other times, so we thought they were guilty, so what if we execute them? It doesn't matter. It's better that 15 men, as has been said in a maxim, forget who said it. Guys, look up the quote. It's better that, 10, I think the actual quote is, it's better that 10 guilty men go free than 1 innocent man be imprisoned or killed. I think it's a Supreme Court justice from 100 years ago. But what I'm getting at here is, as I digress, if I've been in the parking lot before and seen some guy haul off and punch a woman in the face. And I've gone over and said, you better stop that right now. What the hell's your problem? And they've gotten in my face. And I've said, listen, and by that time, people were calling the cops. It was like 20 years ago. And it's not because I'm a hero. I don't like seeing some big guy punch a woman in the eye and give her a black eye. At an instinctive level, that's just not right. It'd be one thing if she hit him or something, then it would be a thing of passion. But guys beating up women at an instinctive level, I don't like that. So I think of my mother, I think of my daughters. But before I had daughters, I instinctively don't like women being messed with. I have that instinctive thing to protect women and children. That's what men are for. That's what we do. You're not a man if you don't want to do that. But, I guarantee you, there's been a lot of cases this year about the news where a dad opens the door and some 40-year-old guy is raping his 10-year-old son, and the dad kills him, and they don't even indict him, much less having grand jury non-bellum. Everybody gets that. There was a case just north of Austin that happened this year, I think, and the dad beat the guy to death. There's been cases where a drunk driver runs over somebody's kid right in front of their house. The dad sees their dead son. There was another Texas case. Goes, gets his gun, kills him. Grand jury doesn't indict. That's not torture. That's not when you beat somebody to death and want them to hurt. You're hurt. So torture is natural in the moment, in the passion where you've caught the person, they've done it, and you're going to bash their brains out. And in the moment you have that killer instinct, you're not enjoying it, but it's like stepping on a cockroach. You have the energy and the will to just sit there and throw their head up against a wall or smash it with killer force. Most people have a governor. They decide to not kill. They decide to not slam that head down hard enough where it breaks open. You can do it. You just decide, you die, you can kill them. That's how the real world works. So there's this tough guy instinct that gets misapplied by, they hit us on 9/11. Go ahead and torture them. You can't have a big, nasty government do that because it'll do it for fake confessions, and it'll do it to you. That's why you don't do it. Not because we're wimps and, why do the Russians and the Chinese do it? Well, because they're barbarous countries that never got reformed. You got freedom in Russia? No. We're losing ours here now, and they're promoting torture and spying and everything else. And Russia's trying to reform itself, but Western pressure isn't letting it do it.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.